Bird here. Happy Friday, Seattle. I'm in, Seattle or outer space. Who knows? Uh, yeah, just thought I would do a different video today. I think the last two have been a bit on the longer side. I thought maybe I get right into it with this one. I have my peer Bobby, who's doing a few videos, and we're gonna have some other folks as well that are gonna do their own. And so you're gonna find those in the playlist on the YouTube channel. I think it's called Mind. And you're gonna get to see different styles of videos. And so I think, obviously we're all talking to each other as we do these and trying to learn about what we like to talk about, how we like to talk about it. And so this one I'm gonna try to keep it a little shorter. You can pause the video and read the entry, just as with the others. I've written sort of a small entry. And one thing I wanted to explore with this entry, and I hear this a lot in our surveys and as I share this tool with people. I've always wanted to journal, but I don't know how to start, or I don't know what to write about. And I remember, not knowing how to do that as well. I only started journaling about 4 or 5 years ago when I quit my job at Amazon, and yeah, it did feel super weird. At the time, pardon me, I was journaling in these small moleskins. And a lot of the ways that I got started wasn't really through journaling, but it was through like to-do lists. I know it sounds kind of strange, but and I think like some of the other videos, you'll see these entries with some pretty elaborate themes, elaborate feelings, elaborate ideas, concepts, reasoning on top of ideas. And I think if you pause this video, you'll see that this entry maybe is closer to how one might start to journal, which is going to be more about describing what's happened in your day, or describing an experience that you had through like qualitative methods, subjective methods, like, oh, I went into this house, right? This is what I did. And I think that's a phenomenal place to start. I think part of what reflecting does over time, which you can't shortcut, is it allows you to develop points of views. It allows you to start seeing patterns. It allows you to start seeing the different parts of you. And so if you haven't tried journaling before, don't rush it. Maybe start with something super simple. Sometimes I joke, if you just had a good sandwich at the cafeteria today, like, you can just write that and see where it takes you. Okay, so like I said, have a quick entry. The writer met someone cool last night and had a long meeting with their colleagues about why people journal. They're feeling creative and would like to tap back into their art practice. Yeah, like again, the summary is super simple. The entry is super simple, so it's not gonna, extrapolate a bunch of new information. It's just gonna say what it is. I think this is Friday. It's been a slow day. I'm not feeling necessarily like super inquisitive, but yeah, I had an awesome time last night at a founders event here in Seattle, and I did meet somebody that was super cool, and I'm definitely feeling intrigued. In fact, that's one of the emotions that mine listed. It's that feeling of like, oh, I had a great conversation. I'm drawn towards having more conversation with this person. So that's like a pretty cool feeling. I think in the past I've tended to resist that. And so I like to write about that because it's like I like to recognize that I had a good conversation, and that helps me think about what I want to do next, or if I have an intention to reach back out, if that's possible. And so, yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm just feeling this creative juice, tired from work this week. So talking about someone cool, meeting, journal, creative. And yeah, as we usually do with the questions, you know, like I said, the entry itself was pretty simple, and the questions, right away engage you to kind of go deeper. And I think this is where you can find some insights. Like, okay, what did I enjoy about meeting this person last night? Well, we talked a lot about art and the creative process and what art is, in our respective lives. And I was able to speak French with them, which, for some of you out there, that I'm French. And that's not something that I do every day. And I think that is super cool for me as an experience because I get to reconnect with a side of myself that I don't really practice all the time, and I think that's definitely something that drew me towards this person. So it's a great conversation. Yeah, hoping that we reconnect another time. What have you been learning from the UX research? Like I said in the first video, I think 3 days ago, a lot of our process was driven by sort of imagination and let's just build cool stuff. And Malia and Bobby are really trying to establish a design process and more methodology around how we approach and how we understand what you all are seeking from a tool like Mind. And it's humbling because all of us have thousands of ideas, and something that you learn on this journey with building a venture, a project, maybe it's just a project, doesn't have to be a company, is that we do have a finite amount of time, and every idea requires resource, requires time, effort. And UX research and just listening to your feedback through the survey is what allows us to sort of quiet down those voices. And I didn't know how to do that before, meeting Bobby and Malia. I just grabbed onto something that I thought was right without any evidence that it was, and I would convince myself that it was right, but sometimes it's not. And so the UX process has really helped us kind of ground ourselves into more empirical data and evidence, and that's been awesome for me. What do you hope to create through your art practice? Art is actually a big way that 3-4 years ago got me into wanting to build this business, wanting to build the previous iteration of this product before Mind. And it's something that I really loved back in middle school, high school, and then after high school I stopped practicing art and I rediscovered it. And so for me, art is a foundation of where I find my creativity. I especially love art when it's about expressing a feeling or an emotion that I might be having. It's not about creating a series, it's not about selling it, it's about giving myself permission to explore my intuition, to allow myself to make a mistake in the sense of just trying something with very low risk. And so there's a program I've been using over the last few years called Touch Designer. This weekend I think I'm excited to just tap back into that. So again, try to do a more simple video today about maybe some simpler themes. I don't think Mind has to be used for incredibly complex things all the time. Sometimes it's just nice to give yourself that moment to recognize, some of the cool moments you've had during your day, or some of the harder moments if that's the case. And I think meeting ourselves there is really powerful, because at the end of the day, if you feel like you want to feel whole, giving yourself that gift might be the first step to take, to acknowledge what's happened, to be a participant in what you're doing. And I think that's a major part of why I journal. And obviously all of you will have your own reason. So I'll cut it here. Happy to be doing these videos. I hope everybody's got a great weekend, and we'll catch you soon. Ciao.